Hello, everybody. So yesterday, if you are in my 8 to 9 class, you were told to watch the video on my Google Classroom. And then if you're my 10 to 11 class, you should have been able to watch this video. If for whatever reason you didn't watch the video or you weren't here yesterday, we're going to go over an overview of the arithmetic mean, and then we will continue from there. So what's the arithmetic mean? So you're using your exact same formula you used before the arithmetic sequences. It's this one that I highlighted in yellow right there. You're going to find the common difference. So you're looking for D to complete the pattern. So essentially you're going to have a set of numbers and you're going to have missing numbers in between. And the AN is going to be the last term in your problem. A1 is going to be the first term in your problem. N is going to be the number and blanks. And then D is your common difference. That's going to be your unknown. That's what you're looking for. And you have to find your D in order to find the rest of the terms. So let's take a look at an example problem. So I have the equation up here. And here's a set of numbers. So I have negative 16, something, 74. So we know it's going to be arithmetic sequence. We know it's going to be adding up the same every time. But we need to use arithmetic mean in order to figure out what is being added every single time. So let's take a little quick count. Nope, that's not what I wanted. And we'll use, sure. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 terms. And you can see 2 of them are numbers, 2 of them are blanks. Doesn't really matter what's what, but we have 4 numbers that we need to account for. So our N is equal to 4. This is our first number, so that's our A1. This is our last number, and that's going to be our A4, which is going to be 74 right there. So now I can reset this same equation we had before with what we already know. So it's going to be 74 equals negative 16 plus 4 minus 1 times D. We can solve the parentheses first. And then I could add 16 to both sides. That's going to cancel out. And that should give me 90. Yeah. 6, 10, 70. Yeah, 90. So 90 is equal to 3D. And then we can divide both sides by 3. So D is equal to 30. So what that means is we're adding 30 every time. So let's say I get that same sequence. I have 16, something, 74. I'm going to be adding 30 every time. So when I have negative 16 and let's say I add 30, that's going to give me 14. And if I add 30 to that, that's going to give me 44. And even if I want to continue the pattern, I can see it still will continue because if I added 30 to 44, that's going to give me 74. So that matches up correctly. Okay, so let's take a look at another problem. And I'm going to write the equation at the top once again, just so we kind of have an idea of what we know, what we're solving for. Okay, so here's another set of problems. So let's say we have some numbers and then negative 21. And then let's say we have 4 blanks. And then 479. So I could count how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 numbers, so my N is equal to 6. That's weird. Okay, there we go. So my N is equal to 6. This is A1, and this is my 6th term. Okay, so we're going to have 479 equals negative 21 plus 6 minus 1 D. So I'm going to add 21 to both sides. Actually, we'll just stick with PEMDAS. We'll solve inside the parentheses first. Okay, 6 minus 1 is 5. That gives you 5D. Add 21 to both sides. And then that should give you 500. Let me double check. 479 plus 21. Yep, gives you 500. is equal to 5D. Okay. So now we're going to divide both sides by 5. D is equal to 100. That's scary. It's a big number. Okay. So we have our negative 21. Add 100. And that gives me 79. So I know the next number is going to be 79. So let me rewrite it down here. 2, 3, 4. So add 100. Add 100. That's going to be 179. And then you could continue the pattern on your calculator. Okay, perfect. So let's take a look at one more. Let's see what it looks like if we have two negative numbers. Yeah, because those are growing. So let's take a look and see if we have two negative numbers. So a of n equals a of 1 plus n minus 1 times d. Okay. And then the set of numbers is going to be ... negative 31 something 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 negative 71. And so we're trying to solve for those blanks. So I'll clarify that this is going to be your answer right here. And these two numbers are your answer right here. So those are actually your answers. Your D is not your answer. You just need to solve for D to find the rest of the terms. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. This is first term, and this is the fifth term. And then we plug in what we know. 5 minus 1 is 4. Add 31 to both sides. So if I have 71 negative plus 31, that's going to give me a negative 40 is equal to 4D. Divide both sides by 4. And I get negative 10 is equal to D. So I'm adding negative 10 every time. So let's rewrite the numbers. So let's say I have negative 31, something, 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 negative 71. So I'm adding negative 10, adding negative 10, adding negative 10. Okay. So 31 negative plus negative 10 gives me a negative 41. Okay, we'll do it again. Plus another negative 10 gives me a negative 51. And we're going to add another negative 10. That's going to give me a negative 61. Okay. So those would be our answers right there. Okay. And I have one final one we can do. So let me rewrite the main equation. And that's supposed to be negative 22 right there. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms, and it's equal to 6. And then we have negative 32 is our A1, is our first term. And then that is our sixth term. So we have negative 22 equals to negative 32 plus our n is 6, so 6 minus 1, and we don't know our d, we're looking for it. So negative 22. I'm going to solve inside the parentheses. 6 minus 1 is 5, so we have 5d. Add 32 to both sides. Negative 22 plus 32, that's going to give us 10. Divide both sides by 5, you get 2 is equal to d. Okay, but we're not done there. So now we need to go back to our, let me rewrite it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're adding 2 every time. So let's say I have negative 32 plus 2 gives me negative 30 plus 2, negative 28, and you can continue this pattern until you get to be at negative 22. Your answer would actually be these numbers right here. So your answer is not D. Your answers are the blanks.